Forgive me, this is bad lighting, but I'm in my room because I need to finish laundry, but I want to talk um, about the race yesterday. Holy shit, was the ending a shit show. Um, there's many reasons why I don't like Logano, and yesterday made it clear of why I still do not like Logano. um, and look at my new I got this new shirt. I What's sad, I got the Darlington Hendrick Motors tee for Chase because he was supposed to run the Xfinity Series race, but he didn't get to because that. But I still have it, so we'll probably, I don't know. Hopefully he gets another shot at a race with Junior Motorsports, but that's just me wishful thinking. Um, the race was freaking entertaining as hell. Like, I'm not a big fan of Darlington, but that was one of the better Darlington races I've seen. Even though my boy struggled a little bit, like in the first couple of stages, just because he was in a backup car, he had to start from the back, and there were so many comers and goers. But there was like a select few in the top 5 and top 10 that were like just there the entire time. William Byron was one of them. We'll get to that in a minute. Logano, Hamlin eventually got to the top 10. Bush was hanging around the top 10. He was coming and going most of the day. Chastain was pretty much up there the entire day. He won a stage, and then he wrecked soon after that. He plowed right into the inside wall, and I'm like, this is what happens when you are overly aggressive and drive over your head. It has nothing against him. That's just how he drives. And same thing happened with Larson before that. He overdrove. It was competing with Bush for the lead. Yeah, it was Bush for the lead, and he became the caution because he was just like trying to side drive, and he just turned and went down the track and destroyed his tires. So and basically blew up his car soon after that. So he got a DNF soon after. So that was 100 car out, which didn't bother me because it's Larson. What else? La, 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 la. A lot of the favorites did not finish the race. Like the 2311 cars took themselves out in one big wreck. Truex basically took people out too in a big wreck that almost cost Chase a good finish. He squeezed through on the top side, like from the wall, and someone else getting into him, but got rear-ended by Kurt before he got demolished. Hamlin, I think, was caught up in that too, so he ended his day. And then Kyle Busch, his day ended because of Kozlowski getting into the wall. It was like he was just an innocent bystander because Busch didn't do anything wrong in that scenario. Well, I'm not bitching about Busch right here, but just Kozlowski got in, like, slammed the wall, came down, and basically got back in across Busch's nose and destroyed his car and his day. So his day ended early. He tried to take it back to the garage. Apparently, the turn on his car did not work very well, so he had to park. He just parked his car like at the entrance of the garage area, got out, walked away with the helmet still on, and I'm like, if there was a time where you say fuck it, this is the picture for it. So, so like I'm not mad at him for that. That's just it happens. At first I was like, what a dick for just leaving it there, just walking away. But then once he explained what happened, then I'm like, okay. Since he has a valid ignore that. blah, 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 blah. Since he had a valid, like, reasoning behind why he couldn't get on back into the garage area, I was fine. Like, I got over it. I have nothing against Bush anymore. Like, I'm, like, neutral with him. He isn't, like, it's just his attitude. I just don't personally like. It's just I'm just neutral with him at this point. Logano keeps taking the top spot of drivers I will strongly dislike for the rest of my goddamn life. Like the guy been driving in the Cup Series for what, 10 plus years since he was 18. Started with Joe Gibbs and moved over to Penske eventually. And since the beginning, he's been always known for an aggressive driver. Nothing wrong with being an aggressive driver, but when it comes to your staple over time to be an overly aggressive driver and have it be your staple of how you win races and just driving through people, then everyone in the garage catches on that you're just a dick. And in this case, he was one. People want to keep blaming Byron for starting it on, having it being justification of Logano doing what he did to Byron on like the second to last lap of that race, because he could have easily passed Byron cleanly with flying colors, and I would have been fine with him winning that race. I really did not give a shit. Like, I was actually pulling for Logano just to, if my drivers weren't going to be in it, he'd be the one to like break through and win a race, because he hasn't won in like 40 races. Well, he was probably in the mix pretty much all day. But Byron was apparently, according to Logano, it was retaliation for whatever reason. He just makes up reasonings and think it's justifications of reacting and being like, the gloves are off, game's on, blah blah blah. That's pretty much what he said. Like, to retaliate and get back at said driver for squeezing him into the wall. From what I saw, I didn't really see anything wrong with what Byron was doing. It was basically the final restart of the race. And Byron probably got into the corner tight, and then Logano was probably side drafting him, and then he got loose, and they both went up the track, and it just happened that way. And Logano always tries to make the justification of some way to retaliate at the end of a race to like get back and make it seem like he was not in the wrong and he's always the victim. Like, he plays the victim card way too much. He plays it all the time, actually. He never takes ownership of the bullshit he causes. Like, I had no problem with, like, him being faster than Byron, and if he won, he won. But it's, in my mind, he easily could have just passed him cleanly. Like, he was much faster. Byron was losing his right rear. It was like, they're on older tires, I get it. I knew it was going to be impossible to beat Logano at that point, because he was coming in hot. He had a strong run. But he could easily came up behind Byron, like got up to here, and then moved around, went like this. But instead, he intentionally went up and went like straight into the back of him. He didn't even try to pass. And that's just his signature of being a dick. But people want to justify that action as, oh, but Dale Sr. did the same thing for a living and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, he wouldn't cry about being smashed into the wall for maybe a brief fucking second and losing a spot on a restart and then intentionally wrecking somebody for a win just because you felt like it's a good enough reason to justify your actions to be an asshole and ruin someone else's day. Just because you're mad at him. Like, Dale was just an aggressive driver. If he ruffed up your feathers a little bit, that was just the way he drove. There was probably no reasoning behind him doing that. He just did it to everybody. And I was never a Dale Earnhardt fan, but that's just how it was back in that time. It was a different time of racing, way different cars, different style of racing. It's just today, like, if Dale Sr. was, like, realistically he's not going, wouldn't be, but if he was still, like, racing to this day, he would be, like, these kids would be, like, rolling over crying. um, but right now he's probably rolling over in his grave thinking, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Like, they're comparing Logano to what Dale Sr.'s did. Dale Sr. just roughed up feathers just to do it. Logano's just doing it because he's a giant asswipe who's, yeah, aggressive. There's nothing wrong with being aggressive, but overly aggressive and intently not, like, Dale owned up to his shit. Logano never does. He never does. Kyle Busch, he owns up to his shit more times than not, sometimes. But Logano plays the victim, acts like everyone is, like, his thing was, he actually said this, like, if it wasn't intentional, it was still game on and gloves are off. I'm like, what kind of mentality is that? Like, what is that? Like, just because someone got, like, if you can't race people the way you want to be raced, like, if you have no problem being raced hard, then don't fucking cry about it and then retaliate because you wanted to be raced hard by and be raced like that. But it's only okay for you to rough up people and retaliate and race other people hard, but it's not okay for them to race you hard. So it's like a double standard a little bit. He can't stand being raced hard, so he gets back at them for doing said racing. But it's so perfectly okay when he does it, and everyone has to just back him up, and just bow and kiss his feet, basically. That's what a lot of people are doing. I'm like, people are just, oh, it's racing, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no. Driving through someone, this is like the Hamlin and Chase incident. It's not racing if you just drive through people, and you don't deserve to fucking win if you drive through somebody and wreck them intentionally for a win. Like, Logano has made it a constant, like, pattern that he can't pass people or win races without running people over. Like the Martinsville thing, that was fair game. That was for the championship four. There was nothing dirty about that one. What the hell? Oh, I saw like a car outside. I was like, all right. As I was saying, he like has made it a habit just to drive through people, because if he wasn't gonna win cleanly, he was just gonna run through people and think it was gonna be okay with everybody involved, because Dale Sr. did it. Well, according to the fan base, Dale Sr. is the GOAT, but I don't care for him all that much. But my thing is, people are like, but William Byron slammed into the wall. I'm like, I rewatched that restart over and over and over. Nowhere did Byron door slam him into the fucking wall. If anything, one of them got loose or tight and they just got up the track and he got squeezed into the wall. It happens. Everyone was doing it all day long on restarts or to pass whatever. Like, it's nothing intentional because it's fucking Darlington. And if you can't race at Darlington and do it properly, or anywhere for that matter, don't fucking race. That's my thing. And Byron had the god darn big ass balls to say that Logano was a moron and an idiot in his interview. And I heard him say he was a piece of shit because he just drives through everybody and he didn't even make it a contest. That's why he's told Jamie Little, like, he didn't make it a contest, because he didn't. He was just, Joey just justifies his actions like, oh, if you can't beat him, wreck him, basically, and he just finds any reason to think it's okay just to drive through. I'm like, numerous drivers over the years in the Cup Garage has said the same shit about Logano. Same shit. But some people are like, Byron's a crybaby. he needs to learn to drive and blah blah blah. Um, if you can't race and don't be on the track, I'm like, the dude was just minding his own goddamn business, leading the race, and if he's gonna get past, he was gonna get past because he was losing tire, and instead of finishing up like second or third, maybe second, he finished 13th because of this dipshit. And the amount of boos that the crowd gave when Logano got out of his car was a chef kiss. I don't know what I just did, but chef kiss. And there was a video like showing Byron's reaction to the boos, and he's just like gesturing towards the crowd like it's obvious, hello, like, and showing the replay. It's like hello, and Logano's just one of those people that he doesn't get a clue. And there was a video of Blaney congratulating Logano, like going up, giving a hug. Oh yeah, congratulations! Like, and he turned around. That look on Blaney's face was like, I fucking hate this guy. Like his expression went like he smiled, and then like he was just pissed off at that point. Like I get like who want to say, oh, he was just mad because he had a crappy day and finished way in the back, whatever. And I'm like, pretty sure that's not the case, but you gotta realize Byron has been dating Blaney's younger sister, for quite a while. Not a while, but like 2 or 3 years by now. So he's probably in an awkward position because it's his teammate, but he still probably still thinks Logano's a big little bitch for doing what he just did, and that was just a little tidbit I just thought I'd bring up. I probably has nothing to do with that, but he just knows how big of a dick Logano is, and he was just obligated to go and congratulate his teammate because it's Penske. But Penske as a whole sucks ass when it comes to being like actual teammates in the Cup Series or any series for that matter. So it's just everything about it. Just like I was on like a TikTok comment war, whatever, with stupid people justifying Logano's actions as per usual. Talking about Dale Sr. and someone like brought up some stupid case and thought it was making a point. But I blocked these people. I just turn the comments off now. Until people get a clue, I just turn the comments off. And people say I'm pressed because, like, no, I just like to pick my battles, and this is not one of them. I'm a grown-ass adult, and I don't want to be arguing with, like, mindless Logano fans who don't understand what their driver did was wrong. A lot of people agree that it was a dirty, shitty move that he should not have made, that he could have approached it way differently and would have been just fine. And it's like the thing with, like, this never-ending Chase thing, like, when he had an issue with Chase after Bristol, like, it was a racing deal. Chase didn't do anything intentional. People feel like he did. Blah, blah, blah. And then Logano was like, oh, he got his payback at Homestead. Like, he, like, purposely, like, held up Chase because he was in the lead and Hamlin was right behind him. Intentionally cost Chase that race and have Hamlin win. And he openly admits to causing this bullshit and causing mayhem. Like, he's had issues with literally his own teammates, majority of the Hendrick drivers, all the Toyota drivers, even Tony Stewart, and you don't want to piss that guy off at this. So he has a reputation, and people are like, why was it no one pissed off or angry of when Ross Chastain like got into AJ Allmendinger to get his first win and blah 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 blah, because it was his first win. Like, I don't care for the guy whatsoever. There's something about him that just bothers me. I don't hate the guy, he just bothers me. Like, you fight and claw for that win, that first career win. And That's a brain burn. AJ Allmendinger was being aggressive himself, got into Chastain, so it's just, I feel like it's just fine just to get that back because they both did it on purpose. There's like no way around that. Like I had no problem with the racing at the end of that race because it was a battle. Like if it's a battle, then that's perfectly fine. But when it's like one sided, like yesterday at Darlington, then there's a problem. Um, that's why I wasn't as angry about Chastain because that was a straight up goddamn battle. And so, but people will be on whatever side they claim. They show bias in any way possible, but honestly, like even the Fox booth, like they missed a lot of shit. Like yesterday, like they missed like Chase spun out, coming off a pit road at one point in the end of like near in the middle of stage 3, and I'm like, what is with this coverage? But that epic move Chase made to go from like 7th to 5th in one fell swoop. It was like a twofer, and it was great, absolutely great. Chef kiss. I loved it. And his dad was in the booth for stage 3, and it was great. And they do like the picks of who they want to win, like who their pick is to win. And of course, Bill Elliott picked his son. Chase came from 34th from a backup car to a top 5 finish, and extended his points lead. And now Byron is second in points, and tied with Blaney, 65 points back. And Bowman dropped like a rock. Kyle Busch kind of dropped too. But we're all still in the top 10, so that's good. And we're going to Kansas, which is an okay-ish track for Chase, but I'm not entirely confident in it. I wasn't confident in Darlington, but he showed some kind of speed, but it wasn't anything spectacular. He came and went like he could pass, but couldn't pass at the same time unless one car in front of him had some kind of issue, and that was pretty much the only time he could pass. And so I really wasn't upset about the race because the race was fantastic. It's just Logano is the reason why he ruined my day. Yes, and ruined that race for me. And I was at my mom's house watching that race, and I was furious. And my grandma was like, "Don't take it so seriously. It's like racing's not that serious. It's like bad for your health." And I'm like, "How about first off, fuck it. No. This is basically all I have. Besides work, this is all I have that keep me sane and happy." So that's the saying. Like the truck race, I didn't watch because it's just become a fucking joke to me. Honestly, it's literally become a laughing stock of the entire NASCAR series. Like they treat their equipment like garbage, like it's just to toss away money. Like that's expensive ass equipment, and these kids just treat it like junk. So I only really follow Xfinity and Cup. Xfinity has been super crazy. People still shit on Ty Gibbs. That's nothing new. Junior Motorsports is on a roll. They've won 3 straight from Talladega to Dover and Darlington. So 3 different drivers, Noah, Barry, and Allgaier, all won. So they're looking good for the playoffs. Noah has 2 wins, and Allgaier has 1, and Barry has 1. So we're hoping for a Mare win, but I don't see it happening. But he's looking good. He's in the top 10 in points, so he's steadily getting better. He finished top 5 at Darlington, which is crazy because no rookie can really finish in the top 5 there unless you're chasing the freak of nature like Chase. So that's just my thoughts. I don't care if you disagree or agree with me on any of this. It's just my opinion. Um, I'm all Team Byron because I'm not. It's not bias. It's just Byron isn't a dirty driver. He's not. He's really not. And from like I went back and watched the replay over and over and over and over and over again. I didn't see anything wrong that Byron did. That's just typical racing at Darlington, and people were getting into the wall here and there all day long, intentional or not. It's like it doesn't justify the actions of what Joey did. He could easily passed him and gone for the win. It's just like the whole Bristol thing with Chase and Harvick. Like Chase got pinned up behind like a lap car and came down, squeezed through between him and Harvick, like between the lap car and Harvick, and this got through, so he can keep battling for that win or for the lead. And Harvick was just stayed like glued to the side of Chase and just dragged him up the track and cut his wheel or tire, whatever, cost him a good finish in that race. And Chase was deservedly pissed, and people were on both sides of the fence on that one too. And people think Chase did it on purpose, whatever, and blah blah blah. But Harvick still finished second to Larson, so Chase went and did what Logano did to him at Homestead and just stayed in front of Harvick the entire time. So his teammate won. Literally, it didn't really matter. So, and then shit went down from there. So, it's like in the sport, you play sides, but people just play sides based on who their favorite driver is. I just base it on who fucked up more and who did it. So, like if my driver fucked up, he fucked up. But in this case, Byron is one of my drivers. I didn't see him really do anything wrong in this case. It's just typical Darlington or just typical racing at Darlington. It was a final restart. In their eyes, it wasn't, but it was still a final restart. And at the end, Logano won, but in a dirty fashion. His trend of his career, and he's just a hypocrite, just like any other, like Ford driver, Toyota, whatever. But that's just how he is. So I'll leave it at that. Logano fans, don't come after me. That's just my opinion. I just never liked the guy. He's an entitled little punk ass bitch. I'm not gonna apologize for saying that because he's a little bitch. And because he never owns up to his bullshit or anything he does on track. Everything he does is great in his eyes, and rightfully so. But everyone else is at fault. But that's just me. A lot of favorites fell out of that race. So, and Hendrick's still being winless there since 2012. Like, we had a real good shot with like a lap and a half to go to win that race, but Logano had other plans. Bowman didn't have a great day. He had a very shitty day. And he got a DNF eventually. They didn't really say much about him because he was running around like 15th, 16th all day. Darlington isn't his best track, so going to Kansas, the 1.5 mile tracks are typically his wheelhouse. So is Chase and Byron. So we'll see how it goes. Chase has won there before, and people are like, "Oh, he lucked into that one." No, but Hendrick's pretty strong on 1.5 mile tracks, hence Vegas and and several other tracks that they've been to. But they got Kansas coming up this next week, then Texas for the All-Star race. I fucking hate Texas. And then after that we go to a string of road courses and shit like that. So it should be a good solid run for Chase after the All-Star break, because I don't have any hope for Kansas all that much. We may run good there, we may not. I don't know. Hopefully, we don't need another backup car this weekend because that was awful. But his scheme, did you see Chase's scheme? Holy shit, that was great. Like they used that partial throwback scheme on the sides of his car and kept it white from the hood all the way to the back. So I thought it was chef's kiss. Like it was so badass, and someone sent me pictures of it, and it just looks so good. Like the fact that he went to a top 5 finish in a backup car is fantastic. Never doubt him. He's consistently good, and people are like, "Why is he still a points leader?" I'm like, one, he's been consistent. He has no DNFs this season. No DNFs. Well, a lot of people do. Like Chastain has DNFs. Byron, Larson, Bowman, Kyle Busch, Logano, Blaney. Like pretty much almost every driver besides Chase has had DNFs this season, and that's why. And with consistent runs and only 2 like bad finishes, there was only one that he finished outside the top 20, and that's on Larson's. That's all on Larson. But his second like decent or less than perfect finish was 15th. But that was on a track that wasn't very good for us anyway. But he's been consistent, getting stage points. He has a couple stage wins. He has a win. And we're coming up on some really good tracks for him within his wheelhouse when it comes to like road course racing and shit like that. So he has opportunities to win again. And we could have seen another Byron win. But overall, Darlington wasn't a bad race. It wasn't. It's just the outcome was shitty. Absolutely shitty. I hate Penske minus Blaney. I love Blaney. He has my heart. Just like Chase has my heart. But yeah, that's my... I may or may not go to Hooters today. I'm deciphering whether to go to Hooters so I can get my fried pickles. Or just ordering them and having them come here. I'm not entirely sure. I really don't feel like leaving the house, but I want some fried pickles. But also I'm trying to eat better. Because I'm going to San Diego in a couple months. A little over 2 months for my grandpa's second memorial thing. He's being laid to rest in the military cemetery. It's military honors. He's having a military honors ceremony to be laid to rest with my aunt. So we're going to have a big family thing out there. So I'm trying to get in some kind of shape and not look like a fat potato. And next time I get my nails done, I'm going to just get them a little bit shorter because they're just not too long, but just a little bit longer than I'd like. Because when I at first thought they were fine, I'm like, oh, these are fine. And then I realized, no, they're not. So within the next, like, couple weeks or so, I'll go back in because they'll get, like, I can get a different color. I'm going to have, I don't know what color to get. So, not entirely sure yet, but, might just do black. I don't know. That's just how I am. I'm a very blasé kind of person. But I hope you guys enjoyed that race because I know I did. It's just the outcome was shitty. I know everyone's going to have different opinions than I do about it. But if you don't follow me on TikTok, please do because right now it's like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm blowing up right now with like notifications of the wazoo. And if you're trying to comment on stuff, don't because oh my god, this stupid fucking phone, dude. I'm on track to have more followers on this account than my other account, but like I would post stuff on there and it would get like nothing would happen. Like I don't expect much out of it. But hello, I don't want to be on YouTube. Stop it. Stop it. God, I fucking hate this phone sometimes. Anyway, like that is my TikTok. You guys want to go follow it? I just post random videos from the race weekend or about Chase or whatever driver I feel like I want to. So just keep the negativity to yourselves if you can, because I don't have the energy for that. So, but if you're nice and kind, come on over. I finished my laundry because I've been slacking on cleaning my apartment, so I'm just trying to play catch up with like my finances, and just cleaning in general. Laundry got backed up for the last couple of weeks or so, and normally I do laundry about once a week, and my sleeping has not have been all that great, so there's that. And just trying to donate shit and get rid of some stuff, but that's just something I'll deal with when I'm not in the middle of training for a new position at work and just trying to get my life together. I'm just surviving at this point. I'm so tired. I took 2 days off of work because I worked like from for like a week and a half, maybe like almost 2 weeks straight, from Monday to this Saturday, like not last Monday but the Monday before that, not last Monday but the one before that. It was when I was like go with work. So in the next few days I'll be training, staying late at work, and just getting some hours in. So, I'm tired. I need coffee. I need water. I don't know what I need. But I hope everyone's having a good start of the week. Monday, let's just try not to kill each other over this small inconvenience of Logano being a little dickhead, because it's how he always has been. So, but shout out to the person who could take a joke about Larson on Twitter, because, like, when he DQ'd and got out of the race, I was like, you hate to see that happen to the golden boy of Larson. And they're like so furious, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna say sorry about that because it's Larson. He's like, oh, I know. It's like, I'm just glad you can take a joke and not get pissy about it. He's like, oh, I know, trust me. It's like, it's fine. And I'm like, because some Larson fans are a little much. So I'm going to get back to adulting here so I can get some stuff done. But we head to Kansas, and Chase is back in the UniFirst scheme. I love that scheme. I don't know why people don't like it all that much, but I love it. God damn this phlegm. But I'm trying to decipher whether to go to Hooters or not, but probably not, because I really don't like leaving my house on my days off. I just like getting my stuff done and binging Netflix and whatever. So I'm getting some kind of sleep. I need to clean my bed too. So Kansas next week, All-Star race at Texas, and then we're at the Coke 600. That's what I forgot. Coke 600, which Chase is normally good at. So if we can prevail at the Coke 600, since we come up short the last couple of times. And then a string of some road courses. We'll be back in it. And there's my cat. So, have a good one, and I'll talk to you guys later.